This is not a drill. We are entering a critical 48-hour window, and what happens next could seriously affect your tech, your money, your safety, and your future. From solar storms threatening power grids, to sudden financial market shifts, cyber attack warnings, and extreme weather alerts, the third week of May is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable periods of 2025. Whether you're a parent, a business owner, or just trying to stay safe and informed, you need to see this before tomorrow. These are the 4 urgent warnings you can't afford to ignore. Let's dive in, starting with the most time-sensitive threat: major solar flare incoming. Protect your tech now. This is not science fiction. It's happening right now. A powerful solar flare, classified as X-class, has just erupted from the surface of the Sun. And according to real-time tracking from NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center, a coronal mass ejection, CME, is heading directly toward Earth. What's a solar flare, and why is this one so dangerous? A solar flare is a sudden explosion of energy on the Sun's surface, and an X-class flare is the most intense type. When accompanied by a CME, it can send billions of tons of charged particles racing toward Earth at over 1,000,000 miles per hour. These particles slam into Earth's magnetosphere, causing geomagnetic storms that can interfere with satellites, electrical systems, and even the Earth's magnetic field. The one heading toward us now is one of the strongest we've seen in over a year, and scientists are sounding the alarm. Critical systems at risk. The third week of May could see global disruptions across key technologies. GPS and navigation systems. Aircraft and ships may experience temporary outages or inaccurate readings. Communication networks, satellite signals, shortwave radio, and even cell towers can go down or experience serious lag. Power grids. Especially in northern regions, transformers and grid systems are vulnerable to overload and blackouts. Internet infrastructure, undersea cables and satellite relays could face temporary interference. Aviation, high-altitude flights, especially near the poles, may have to be rerouted due to increased radiation levels. Space missions and satellites, increased drag on low Earth orbit satellites, and higher risk to astronauts on the ISS. Timeline of impact. Flare detected. May 17th, CME arrival. Window. Expected between late May 18th and early May 20th. Peak disruption risk. May 19th intensity level, G3 to possibly G4, severe, on the NOAA geomagnetic storm scale. Fun fact, geomagnetic storms this strong can even make the northern lights, auroras, visible as far south as Colorado, France, or northern Japan. What you should do now. To prepare. Protect your technology. Unplug sensitive electronics when not in use, especially overnight. Use power surge protectors for computers, modems, and routers. Back up your data to external hard drives or secure cloud storage. Turn off smart devices that aren't essential. Protect your home. Charge phones, backup batteries, and power banks in case of short outages. If you rely on medical or security devices, ensure backup power is ready. Stock up on basic supplies, water, flashlight, etc., just in case. Stay informed. Track real-time updates via NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center, SWPC, NOAA.gov, the Space Weather app or spaceweatherlive.com, local news alerts and emergency systems. Why this matters long-term. Events like these are not just rare, they're warning signs. As we become more dependent on technology, a large-scale solar storm, like the historic Carrington event of 1859, could potentially shut down modern infrastructure for days or weeks. In 2025, even a brief outage could mean billions in economic damage, disrupted supply chains, and widespread panic if communication systems fail. This isn't a doomsday scare. It's a science-backed warning to take practical steps right now. A solar flare of this magnitude can cause major disruptions, but the good news is you still have time to prepare. Protect your tech, back up your data, stay informed. The storm is coming. Are you ready? Massive financial shift. Critical Fed announcement. May 21st. On Tuesday, May 21st, the Federal Reserve will release the minutes from its most recent policy meeting. This document is expected to reveal key insights into the Fed's outlook on inflation, interest rates, and the broader economy. Markets are tense. With inflation remaining high and economic growth slowing, there is growing speculation that the Fed may delay rate cuts, or worse, consider another hike. If this happens, it could impact interest rates on mortgages, credit cards, and business loans across the country. Investors should prepare for potential volatility. Stocks, crypto, and bonds could all react sharply depending on the Fed's tone. Consumers may see rising borrowing costs, and home affordability could worsen. If you're planning major financial decisions, like buying a home, investing, or taking on debt, it's wise to wait and see how markets respond after the May 21st release. This could be a turning point in the financial landscape heading into summer. Global cyber threat alert. Governments on high alert. A new wave of cyber threats is emerging, and this one has global security agencies on high alert. Over the past 72 hours, multiple cybersecurity firms and intelligence sources have issued urgent warnings about a coordinated cyber attack campaign targeting critical infrastructure, government systems, and large-scale corporate networks. Early reports suggest a high likelihood that this activity is being carried out by state-backed actors with suspected origins in Eastern Europe and Asia. This is not a drill. The warnings are specific, credible, and escalating. What's happening? According to leaked threat assessments and security bulletins from the EU, the United States, and private sector cybersecurity firms, there is a sharp increase in ransomware activity, zero-day exploit deployments, targeted attacks on financial institutions, hospitals, and energy grids, attempts to breach public sector networks, including municipal governments. In some cases, the intrusions appear designed to disrupt systems, not just extract ransom. This indicates the potential for geopolitical motives, such as undermining public confidence or destabilizing infrastructure. Governments in the US, UK, and parts of Europe have raised their cyber threat levels in response. Who is at risk? This is a broad-spectrum threat that affects government agencies. Federal, state, and local systems are under constant scanning attempts. Emergency services, transportation networks, and electoral systems are being probed. Large corporations, particularly in finance, healthcare, utilities, and logistics. Small businesses and individuals, often used as weak points for lateral attacks. Home routers, smart devices, and unsecured software are being actively exploited. No one is immune. In today's connected world, cyber attacks don't stop at firewalls. They spread through supply chains, emails, and third-party services. What makes this weak? Critical cybersecurity experts believe this campaign is building toward a coordinated strike window between May 20th and May 24th, timed to exploit gaps in system maintenance cycles and holiday staffing shortages in parts of Europe. In short, if a major attack happens, it's likely to happen this week. How to protect yourself right now? For individuals, update your devices immediately. Phones, laptops, routers, and all software use strong, unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. Avoid clicking links or opening attachments in unsolicited emails. Monitor your financial accounts closely for suspicious activity. For businesses, conduct urgent internal audits of network access and backup procedures. Alert your IT and security teams to patch all known vulnerabilities now. Review endpoint security for remote workers. Ensure business continuity and incident response plans are in place and updated. For IT professionals, patch high-profile vulnerabilities, especially those in Microsoft Exchange, Cisco, and Fortinet systems. Monitor threat feeds and advisories, e.g., CISA, ENISA, and private sector alerts. Be on the lookout for signs of reconnaissance, lateral movement, or privilege escalation. This is not just another cyber threat. The scale, sophistication, and timing suggest a strategic campaign with real-world consequences. Whether you're a government official, a business owner, or just someone using a smartphone, now is the time to act. Do not wait until an attack hits your network, your systems, or your wallet. The global cyber threat level is rising, and the warning is clear. Prepare now or pay the price later. Extreme weather events predicted. Tornadoes and flood warnings. Meteorologists and emergency agencies across the central and eastern United States are issuing urgent warnings as a high-impact weather system is expected to sweep across large portions of the country during the third week of May. From the southern Great Plains to the Midwest and into parts of the Southeast, conditions are lining up for severe thunderstorms, tornado outbreaks, and flash flooding, with some areas already under preliminary watches and alerts. This is shaping up to be one of the most dangerous weather weeks of the year so far. Areas of highest concern. According to forecasts from the National Weather Service and NOAA's Storm Prediction Center, the greatest risk zones include Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas, possible long-track tornadoes and large hail Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, high risk for flash flooding and damaging wind gusts, parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Saturated soil increases flood and landslide potential. The pattern is expected to be multi-day, meaning that some regions could be hit by multiple rounds of storms between May 19th and May 24th. What to expect? Tornadoes. Strong supercells could spawn EF2+ tornadoes, particularly during late afternoon and evening hours. Forecast models are showing unusually high shear and instability, perfect ingredients for rotating storms. Severe thunderstorms. Wind gusts in excess of 70 mph and baseball-sized hail have been reported in preliminary storm development. Power outages, downed trees, and infrastructure damage are likely. Flash flooding. Some areas could see 4 to 8 inches of rainfall in under 48 hours, overwhelming drainage systems and creating dangerous road conditions. Urban centers and low-lying rural areas are especially vulnerable. Travel disruptions. Major interstates and regional airports may experience closures or delays due to weather-related hazards. Drivers should prepare for sudden road closures and poor visibility. Why this pattern is so dangerous? The storm system is fueled by unseasonably warm, moist air from the Gulf colliding with an advancing cold front and upper-level jet stream. This setup creates a classic environment for explosive storm development. What makes this week particularly concerning is the combination of tornado and flooding risks, sometimes within the same areas. Emergency response teams are preparing for overlapping disasters. What you should do now: stay updated on weather alerts via NOAA, weather radio, local news, or official apps. Prepare a severe weather kit with water, flashlights, first aid, and battery-powered chargers. Review your shelter plan. Know where to go if a tornado warning is issued. Avoid travel during storm watches or warnings, especially at night. Never drive through flooded roads. Just 6 inches of moving water can sweep a car away. If you live in a mobile home or flood-prone area, consider making temporary arrangements to stay in a more secure location during the height of the storms. This is not a typical spring thunderstorm pattern. It's a high-alert situation with the potential for widespread damage, power outages, and life-threatening conditions. Take warnings seriously, monitor updates frequently, and most importantly, make your severe weather plan now, before the storms arrive.